It is. I say good morning and welcome to the masterclass, the seventh masterclass. If you can believe that, we started 7 months ago, and 7 months ago, I had this idea that why not just get together with everybody and share this concept that absolutely triggered my life from a plateau that I had been sitting on for years. And so the idea was to get together on a once a month basis. And I am a very much a repetition is the mother of skill. I love repetition. I love memories. I love going back and repeating things. I never will forget where I was when I got that first book, that first time I ever saw what it was like, that when I was told readers are leaders, and my very first copy of The Greatest Secret in the World, The Greatest Salesman in the World, my copy, my version, the first one that I read, and I'm sad to say it, I didn't make it. I failed the promise that Og challenged me. 75-1 odds. He said that you would not complete the scrolls, and I had to restart. And thank goodness that restart, I said, Dan, you're 19 years old. You have to do this. You're just turning 20 years old. You have to do this. Your life is in front of you. You have to take it seriously. Casual effort will not get the results that you want in life. And so lo and behold, that was the book that allowed me to, in short order, meet my wife. Here I am 42 years later with my wife and 4 kids, 15th grandchild to be here in a few months. This is the book that helped me go from zero to passing my first $1 million in income when I was 22 years age. This is the book that made me think about love differently than I had ever thought about in my life. How did I grow up in a single parent home with no education, no self-esteem, no self-worth, and never really get the understanding what Og taught me in that second scroll? I will greet this day with love in my heart. And I got that going for me and my wife. Here we are. We have this incredible good fortune. And all these years, almost every day of my life, I would awake to the thoughts, I will greet this day with love in my heart. And I will persist until I succeed. And then there's that scroll that hit me. And it didn't hit me its hardest until 2 years ago when I had this plateau journey that I was on. I was just kind of living this facade. I was okay. You would look at me and say, I'm okay. But when you're on a plateau, you're essentially going backwards. And I was going backwards for the better part of 10 years. In my own internal dialogue, was there something wrong with me? Yeah, I could put on my face and I could go live and I could speak to audiences and I still got paid very, very well to do what I was doing. But could I truly explode off that plateau? I never even thought about it in those terms. I prayed for the moment to where I could find something that would ignite me. And lo and behold, it was this book. It was The Miracle Morning. It was Hal Elrod. It was him saying that you're just as worthy, deserving, and capable as anyone else on the planet. And I'm able to take this 2 years ago last month, start reading this, and find an extremely different level of adrenaline surging through my body, giving me mind over mattress at new levels of intention. Mind over mattress to where you can't wait to get up the next morning because you get to talk to people about something that was exciting to you, that was changing you. And this is how it all started to happen. And then I start manifesting this idea that I am going to write a book. My wife says, why do you want to write a book? And I said, the world has too much darkness. The world has too much negativity. Is there a chance that I could be a spark or a light to someone else and add more value to a life? And so shortly, I manifest the entire idea of how am I going, and right over my shoulder, you'll see the entire Stephen Covey collection there. And Stephen Covey, my wife has as a professor in college. I was fortunate to be at his house, interview his son, and lo and behold, meet the man that wrote The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, that wrote Principle-Centered Leadership, and he's my co-author. This is the very first copy, the first printed edition that I received. I feel like I've been on the road for 2 months, and I just got the first printed edition, and we're ready to roll to our advanced reader group. We'll get there in a few minutes. But to say that I didn't even know Hal Elrod, and he writes the foreword to my book, To say I didn't even know Dr. Benjamin Hardy, and I'm on with him yesterday texting it, and he writes the afterword to the book. To be able to have all of these things manifest and change my life, to move me, as the title of our show today, this month's title is to ignite, right? We want to ignite wherever that is for you, wherever you're at in your career, whatever that plateau looks like, feels like. Is it health? Is it relationships? Is it finances? Is it comparison? Is it that incredible epidemic of our day where we're turning on social media too much and we're comparing to somebody else? The epidemic of anxiety. I was on my bike ride in Vermont last week. One of my nearest, dearest, closest friends, his entire company, he's always been in the area of camps for kids, troubled kids, that, and they send their kids to outdoor camps, and he's had these businesses, and his new businesses, their entire company is strictly focused on dealing with that epidemic of anxiety. I said, Mark, what do you think? What does the data show? What does it show the percentage of people that deal with anxiety? And I just love his tone. He always has one hand on his belly, one hand on his chin. And he said, Danny, he says, it's got to be 60 to 80%. And if that's the case, how do we change that paradigm? So what I'm going to try to do, you guys, patience with me. You know that I am not a technology solo producer, but I'm going to try to share my screen, and let's see if I can't pull this off. You can see that slide? Yes. Okay, fantastic. So what I'm going to do is say the affirmation that starts with I am is always the first thought to my mind now. All those years that what got me here, the greatest secret in the world, what got me here won't get me there. And I had to look at it differently. I am nature's greatest miracle. And so, fueled by affirmations, daily reminders of our potential, guiding us to transform our thoughts into meaningful change. And that is what excites me. And this is a quote that I've been using a lot lately. And if you haven't heard me say it, I'll just repeat it here. Bruce Lee is from Seattle. I'm from Seattle. And I mean, of course, he was born in, I think, China, raised in San Francisco, lived in Seattle. And this comment, from what I think is one of the greatest feats that anyone could ever accomplish as an actor, as a philosopher, as an athlete, the greatest Jeet Kune Do, perhaps in the world, in the history of the world. There are no limits. There are only plateaus. And I was on that plateau. And I went live the other night on my Facebook page, and I made this incredible video because this individual who's been a friend of mine that calls me regularly, we talk regularly, we have other business ventures together, and he just got really negative. Wow, it was coming on strong. And then he did it again the next day, and then he did it the next day. And I said, stop. I said, just stop. And I read to him his favorite book that I ever recommended to him, which is Wally Waddell's Financial Success or the Science of Getting Rich. I started reading to him aloud. I said, are you listening to yourself? Don't speak negatively about yourself. This person was beating himself up every day. And I find audiences that I speak to, I always have someone come up, text me, call me, share with me, and say, you know what, Dan? I so needed to hear that because I'm beating myself up too much too. And Bruce Lee, when he says, don't speak negatively about yourself, even as a joke, your body doesn't know the difference. So you have to fight for flow. And I was fortunate to be able to do that. And literally that 10-year plateau that you see below the picture there where I'm holding the book here. And then Dr. Benjamin Hardy says, Dan, your life is going to 10x. I didn't expect my life to 10x in 6 months' time, but virtually every category, being all in, when you read Dr. Benjamin Hardy's book, 10x is easier than 2x, you'll find out what are the things you need to strip away. Is there something you're watching, something you're listening to, some friend of yours, like my negative friend this week? Is there something you need a friendectomy? You need to fire some of the people that are not the positive influences in your life. And my life 10x's in 6 months? Like this was extraordinary. The financial gains I was seeing in certain investments, it was like, holy cow. And I want to tell you that for the last 2 months, I've been in a very choppy flow. I'm living in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I go to South Carolina. I'm back to Coeur d'Alene. I load up. I go to a golf tournament. I go to Utah. I come back here. I get here. I go to this East Coast trip last week, my Vermont bike ride. If you didn't see my pictures, we saw bears, right? I'm on the Von Trapp Ranch, walking through the Sound of Music and all the history and the things there. And I found this week a new intention again, that I am intentional in extraordinary blessings, people, finances, relationships, rewards, extraordinary. And so I am excited for you to put in chat right now. What are your wins in the last month? Anybody, feel free to just put it in chat. Go ahead and put something in there that maybe you won on. Maybe you're going to type in, I am intentional, or I am igniting again. What is the win that you can update us? For us at our company, it is seeing that first copy. Our advanced reader team, we were scheduled to do this a month and a half ago, and one of our team is in, part of our team is in Georgia, and then Helene hit, completely wiped out power and electricity and everything down there. We got put on delay, right? And so our advanced reader team, we're going to actually onboard in the next month. I should get the new updated edition because there's one page that was out of order. And I'm told that the average New York Times bestseller published edited book has 20 errors. Well, you're going to help me find the errors before we go live. We're going to do an advanced reader team. We're going to ask you, we're going to give it to you at a substantial discount. We're going to give you the Kindle version and the audio version. The audio version's uploaded. It's pretty darn cool. My voice, 5 hours long. And I was so moved by your stories. But that is coming in the next couple weeks. So let's see if we can get some wins in chat. Fantastic. Okay. So now we know, and some of you have brought your coins. I'll talk about the coins in a minute. We're going to do a bundle because people say, hey, I want to give them away to my team. I want to buy them for the kids. I want to have them for, one in the desk, one in the car, one in my purse, one in my wherever, right? So I always have usually 1 or 2, 3 floating around as well. I like seeing both sides at the same time, right? I like seeing I am, and then I am a magnet for miracles. I just feel good about it. And so the coins we're going to do a buy 3, get 1 free. And I think my assistant just put that up on the website yesterday. Those of you that have seen the affirmation journal, if it serves you, great. I just want this I am to indoctrinate me. Imagine the world is so indoctrinated with negativity. The idea is, can we flood the mind with positivity? Can we go all in with positivity? And so keep putting your wins in the chat and doing those things right there. And what I want to do is I want to just ask you, are you doing the 1%? Are you giving yourself the space to say, I am worthy of that 18 minutes? Mine is usually 30 to 40 minutes now, just because I add extra things, read extra things, write extra things. I find the gentle reminder of flow before phone, I find that writing is the single activity that helps me get into flow the quickest. So here's my journal. I mean, I have many different journals. My Awakening Who I Am. This is my journal that Dr. Benjamin Hardy gave me last year at one of his events. So I have journals all over the house. Ideas can be life-changing, and I like to write. It changes me. I like to listen to the 18 minutes. That 1%. Yeah. Well, okay. 1.5 hours, Ashley. That's awesome. Everybody's got a different nuance. I really appreciate nuance. And that's the subtle differences of who we all are. So the QR code is there. If you don't have that 18-minute affirmation video, feel free to take a picture of that right there. Download that affirmation video. Make sure it's a part of your daily repertoire, if you will. And you're going to find this month, 1 week left in this month right now, absolute subtle changes to your life this week with this heightened level of intentionality going after your 18 minutes. And I see some of you that I've had to remind on a few occasions to say, it's okay. If you lose the flow, you can always reignite the flow. It's a matter of making a decision. And when you get to the point to where you feel like you're missing a meal, when you miss your 18 minutes, then you know that you're all in on the principles of neurogenesis and setting your mind up to win each and every day. So let's go to the next slide. Let's get into the meat of this, igniting your transformation. I've got my coins in hand. Let me see this next slide here. I had to share this with you because I think it is so cool. When I keep thinking about, I did a Zoom for a clothing company on Monday morning, and this lady comes up on chat and she says, "Oh my gosh, the coin. That is such an incredible idea." And I think I may have shared with you before that the first time I said I wanted to make a coin, my wife said, "Why do we need a coin?" My wife said, "Are you sure you want to write a book?" And now we're selling hundreds of coins. We just got our second order back in. And my wife said, the coin was a good idea. And so the most expensive coin in the world, a story of wealth versus worth. And I just love you. Most of you know I'm a golfer. And there's a term called a birdie and an eagle. Well, I got my first hole-in-one in August 29th, carrying my first coin in my pocket the first day I ever played. I think I shared it last month. But this coin right here is a Godden's Double Eagle, which sold for $18,872,250 at an auction in 2021. I simply say, you could have that coin and have zero net worth. You would have a lot of, zero self-worth. You could have a lot of net worth and not have the self-worth. But when I look at this coin, and I want all of you, if you can, how many of you have a coin that you can hold up right here? I want to see if you can hold up your coin. I want to see if we can take pictures of that. I want to see if anybody wants to snap a shot of that. Put your coin up there right now. And I am going to pick out a few people, and I'm going to ask you to come off mute. And first, I'm going to go to Mitzi. And I'm going to tell you why. Mitzi is somebody that I did not even know. Mitzi is somebody that is now what I would consider an incredible friend, yet we've never even given each other a hug or a high five or any of that. But Mitzi is featured in my book because my friend Fred Elias, I don't see if Freddie's here or not, but my friend Fred Elias said, Dan, you've got to meet Mitzi. And so in the beginning of the book, we talk about the 7 affirmations. I am a creator. Mitzi created an entirely new life for herself. Mitzi, would you please introduce yourself to the audience today? Take it off mute. Tell us who you are and briefly tell us, how did it start? Because you overcame some significant battles.
I did. Hi, Dan. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me on. I love this. I carry this coin everywhere, and I'm excited to see, some of my friends and people on here that are excited about it as well. Oh, gosh. Kitty's in the way. So, it's been an incredible journey. I was a single mom of 5 kids working 2 jobs. I was a full-time college student myself and raising them on my own without child support, just struggling, losing my home. I'd been diagnosed with melanoma and a brain aneurysm. That's what led me to, my journey of taking my health seriously. And that led me to a journey of sharing an opportunity that, was just completely foreign to me. I'd never done this kind of thing before. I was very insecure, very low self-worth. And my coaches said to me, they introduced me to greatest salesman in the world, of course. And they're like, you need to change your mind. And if you change the way you think, you can change your life. So it led me on a journey of, personal development and learning to move from a lack mindset. Started with affirmations, speaking in the mirror. I'm a great mom. I am beautiful. I am a leader. All these things that I did not believe about myself. I started speaking in the mirror, and it was that's been my whole journey for 14 and a half years now, has been just growing my mindset to grow myself. But, it changed my life literally just in 1 year. I couldn't believe the people that were just brought into it was like, I literally was like a magnet for just amazing people. I just felt like, oh my gosh, everybody's talking about how bad this world is. And I just feel like everything's so wonderful. What are they talking about? Even though I still had like bad situations going on, you know what I mean? And I was, working so much, but we were happy and we had a lot of love, and it just kept growing. And financially, it wasn't long before I was making enough money to leave those jobs. And then it was 6 figures. And then all of a sudden 13 people on my team, 6 figures. And it was like, it's just exploded and took on a whole new life of its own, but it's been working on my mindset and knowing I am a creator, right?
Yes.
And I am worthy, and just all of these amazing things that you don't think about yourself. I felt like, oh, I could say it about everybody else, but I couldn't say it about myself,
Mm.
but God's just put these amazing people in my path, like you and Freddie Elias, who've just changed my life, in so many ways, helped me, empowered me to change my life, I should say, and it's just paying forward that blessing.
Yeah, it's so interesting that in the book you said the same thing about how you couldn't even believe the things you were saying, right? You had the affirmations and the goals, and I was speaking at an event last month, and this young, beautiful girl sits down next to me. It was all these women in a breakout session, and they were doing their dream boards, and she said, "You know my mom?" And I said, "I do." And she told me who her mom was in Seattle. We grew up, and she's doing her dream board, and she turns to me, and I'm sitting at a table with young mission-driven entrepreneurs, and she has tears flowing down her face. And she said, "I can't even believe the things I'm putting on my dream board, just like you did." Do you recall, what was it? I know that you were a huge affirmation person. You were really big and the greatest salesman in the world. Do you recall how hard you had to work? What you did in the mirror, how repetitious, how loud? What are some of the intangibles that got you to the point to where you believed?
It was looking for the evidence after I'm saying it. So I'm speaking these things, and I would cry my eyes out because I just truly did not believe that I was worthy, or that I was beautiful, or that I was a leader, or a good mom, or could even offer anybody anything good. But as I would do these things, I'm thinking about, okay, well, what actions does a leader take? What does, I had moved so many times with my kids. I'm like, okay, what does a good mom do? It was more about, what am I teaching my kids, and what am I spending time with them? The little time I get, is it quality time? Do they know that I love them? Do they know that they are loved by God? Do they know about God? Like, that was a huge part of our journey. And then I'd look for that evidence of what I'm saying. And then the more that I did that and I stacked that evidence, the more I started to believe, and it was as a leader, well, what actions does a leader take? And I worked on my mindset like my life depended on. I still do, Dan. Like, it is a never ending journey. I'm like, I've not arrived, right? There's still a long way to go, but it's transformed me as a person. Like, I'm still me, but I am so much more, and I can offer so much more to people, and that's a gift that we get to give each other. As you grow, everything else in your life grows, and it's just been beautiful. And speaking these again, because I got out of that habit for a little while, and I've been doing it for, my gosh, we started this book and the affirmations and doing the meditations, and I went to our conference this last month, and I saw my name on the screen for the top 5 Business Builder Growth Award. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And my team's like, what do you mean you can't believe it? You've been manifesting, you've been speaking it. Like,
Wow.
Sometimes it's that shocking. It's like, okay, now I'm owning it, right? Like, I am owning that. So
Wow.
it's
Wow.
just, we're just having fun. And I love it.
Transformation requires inspiration. You are an inspiration. Mitzi is also probably the number one on the leaderboard for saying, when is the book coming out? Because besides me and all the stress I go through, I mean, I got legal issues to go through. I got copyrights, I got trademark, I got everything to do. And then I had to onboard a new team last month. And so everything happens for a reason at the right time. Mitzi, you're number one on the leaderboard for saying, when's the book coming out?
I'm ready.
So thank you so much for being you. And we're going to give away coins on the show here if you stay with us to the end. Mitzi's going to be one to select one of you to get a free coin. If you don't have your coin yet, Mitzi's going to be one as we get to the end here. And Mary West from Seattle is going to be another. Mary, good morning. How are you? Can I just tell a quick story?
Okay, sure.
I meet Mary through one of my book coaches, and I just thoroughly love the journey of, I pay a lot of coaches a lot to do a lot of different things. And I just love that Mary is such a light for connection. She loves and thrives on connection and networking and being with people. And she did a special 3-day Zoom last month. And she said, Dan, can you speak on this day at this time? And I said, oh no, I'm in a golf tournament. I never play golf tournaments. And so she allowed me to be the first speaker on her 3-day Zoom. What was the name of the event once again?
Being Unstoppable.
Being Unstoppable. And she always asked to say one powerful thing about being unstoppable at the end. And I said, I'm just going to add 2 words. I am unstoppable. Mary, would you please just talk for a minute about what you love to do, why the coin's important to you, and then we'll come back to you at the end and you can pick out somebody in the audience to give a coin to.
Yes, I love connecting people like you mentioned, and I absolutely love having my coin. I have it with me everywhere. If I'm in my office, I have it in my office. If I go somewhere, I put it in my purse. It's with me everywhere. And what it's done for me is it's given me more confidence. It's giving more confidence. I used to compare myself to people and think that other people are better than me, and I've stopped comparing. So I absolutely love, and I want everyone that I know to have a coin. So it's like a security blanket. You've got to have it with you all the time. So thank you so much, Dan. And we loved having you on the event last month.
Well, I am going to reach back out to you at some point because she actually had a clean comedian start the event. And you know how hard it is to be funny on Zoom? And this man, I mean, by the time I was speaking, my jaw was sore. I was laughing so hard. It was an absolute blast to be with you. Mary, God bless you. And okay, so let's just take a quick peek here. Take a breath. Everybody just pop on chat for a second if you haven't. And just write one I am affirmation. Anyone you want, just anything that comes to mind, and maybe something that struck you here today. We'll be done here in about the next 10 minutes. And just go ahead and throw something in there and look at all the comments. Some people say they don't have a coin yet. Definitely need a coin for sure. That's why we just did the bundle. Love affirmations. I'm a magnet for miracles, obviously. That is what I tell myself every day, all the time. So just a quick 12-second breath exercise here. We're going to do 4 in, hold for 4, 16-second rather. 4 out, hold for 4. You can turn off your camera if you want, but everybody just take a nice it's free. Your breath is so powerful. Metanoeo is actually a Hebraic word that means change. Meta means change. Noeo is part of the change is changing our breath. When you can take that anxiety that the world has on you, the comparison that you have, all these things, and just take time to breathe. I do it during the 18 minutes and I do it throughout the day. So hopefully we can just look at, I am mindful. I'm going to scroll down here because I don't want to miss some of these. I am transformed. Be ye transformed, Paul says in Romans 12:2, right? I am worthy. Obviously, we have a 7-minute affirmation video. I am powerful beyond measure. I would love a coin. Okay. So Carrie Clark, are you on the screen, Carrie? You can take it off mute. I didn't even tell Carrie he was going to be on the show. Maybe I did. I don't know. I might have told 20 people you're going to be on the show today because I can't keep track of all the people I'm talking to. Carrie, you're one of my best friends. You're somebody that I can get on the phone with and we can just geek out about life and people and journey and scripture and family and friends and death and dying and love and life and all the stuff. But you and Tonya got your coins, what?
Right here.
Right away, right? There's your better half over there. I got one of you on one end of the screen, one on the other. But I asked Carrie, just why did you order 2 coins? Where do you keep it? What do you think about it? And you're going to give away a free one to someone in the audience as well.
Well, I ordered one each for Tonya and I keep it with me every in my pocket always. It's on my nightstand at night. I tried to keep it in my pajama pocket, but it keeps falling out. So I just keep it on the nightstand. But I just love you, Dan. You've influenced my life in a huge way. But I want to share something that's interesting. And that is just that breathing exercise. I've been just studying the law of abundance a little bit. And there's an abundance of wealth, of everything on this earth. And if every person on this planet right now took a huge, deep breath of oxygen, would it deprive another? It would not. There's plenty for all, right? And the same is true of so many things in our lives.
Wow.
So I don't want to be a downer, but this is a significant day for me. 50 years ago today, I left on my church mission. That tells my age. Also, this would be I have a son who passed from a drug overdose earlier, 7 years ago earlier in the week, and today would be his 38th birthday. And I miss him terribly, but I'm at peace with everything.
Wow.
It's just awesome. And I'm totally at peace with that. I'm not the first and the only and the only person, dad or mother, who's lost a son or daughter to a drug overdose. And it's things like that, just go on. But anyway, what a blessed life I have.
What a great message you gave us. So here's where we're going to transition before I go to my last two slides. And the winners of the coins, okay, we'll do 3 coins. The winners of the coins are going to be, we don't know who has a coin and who doesn't. So if you can put your hand up right now, Carrie's going to pick. If you have not got a coin yet, okay, go ahead and just put your hand up. We're going to give away, Carrie's going to pick one of you out of the audience. Okay, I see Corolla. I see, if I said that right, by the way, my eyes are a little fuzzy on this. Corolla. And I can't see all the pages. Wen and Eugene.
Well, I'm going to go with Carol. She's waving both hands.
All right. Okay. I think it's Corolla, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I'm sorry, Corolla.
That's okay. So Corolla, you're going to go to Messenger on Facebook, and you're going to send me, I want a free coin, and your address, and we're going to send that out to you next week. And then Mary, let's come back to Mary. Let's see. I've got so many people on the screen here. Mary, where'd you go? There you are, right there. Mary, pick out another hand in the audience. Maybe there's somebody that gave a comment. Somebody says, I want a coin. The coins sell for $30 individually. I think we did the bundle 3 for $90 and you get a free one. So somebody's going to get a free coin with a value that has infinite value. Is it 18 billion worth for your self-worth? Mary, who do you see out there with a hand up?
I'm going to choose Juliet.
Oh, Juliet. Fantastic. I can't even see Juliet. Where's she at? Raise your hand, Juliet. I'm going to go over here to the other screen. Juliet, you're going to go to Facebook, go to Messenger, say, I won a coin on the masterclass. You'll send me your address. We'll send that out. Fantastic. All right, Mitzi Vaughn, you're the final one. Before we go to the final slide, you get to pick out a coin because you are an inspiration, a creator, a magnet for miracles. Who are you going to give the gift to today?
I am going to give this to Leslie Lewis.
All right, Leslie Lewis. I don't think I know Leslie Lewis, but I think I saw comments from Leslie Lewis, and I am excited for all of you that just got your free coin. So you'll all go to Facebook Messenger, type in, I won the coin today on the masterclass, and you are going to leave me your address. We're going to ship that out for you. And I love all of you, and I want to just go to our final slides here. While I'm looking for this, May, do you want to share what you experienced last month by spending a month with me each and every Saturday for 90 minutes?
Oh my God.
Okay.
There you go. You slide win.
Yeah,
And
there
thank
we
you.
go.
Thank you.
There we
Thank
go.
you so much. I wasn't the one get the text saying that I be on the show, but thank you for calling up on me. It's a long story and a long journey. I'm so glad I see Wayne and Eugene today as well, and that's how I actually started this affirmation journey. That she introduced the what was it, Sherry Brady first, and I start learning how to meditate. And then in the May of 2020, and she introduced this book. What the book? This book. So I also found you was doing the this show consistently. You were on the Greatest Man, and um so it's a difficult journey. So I was not realizing, and I was bashing myself. I thought that's the way it is. Um, but throughout that journey, I was chasing people, trying to find a mentor, and you were one of them. I stalked you. I did, and and I even used different name to email on this. I am affirming. So this and then when I got on the class this month, and first time I heard the 7.5 minutes about I am worthy. Every time I say it, it brings tears to. It's not easy to believe it as a saying it. So, thank you so much, Dan. And also like who was sharing the evidence in the 18 minutes the meditation saying you will be receiving miracles unexpectedly. And also these were evidence, whatever the universe trying to bring to me. I have seen so many evidence that are telling me that I'm worthy. I'm a better person. I so appreciate. And it doesn't mean that life is all perfect. It will still have to battle through many things, especially the relationship with the family. So I really, really thank you for this
Thank you.
journey that you're into my life.
And
Thank
it's
you.
been a delight. And we're going to forgo my slides because I can't find presenter view. I can't find presenter view. And it says Drew says that I need to say I am a technical wizard, but I don't aspire to be a technical wizard. So I'm just going to say I am a child of God, and it's been incredible to be with you. I hope this has served you. Thank you for being with us. Tracy, thank you. I am a magnet for miracles, and so are you. And I'm going to close with this. You've heard me say that in order to make your present better, the way you do that is to make your future bigger. But I say, as Dr. Ben told me yesterday, make your future bigger sooner. In order to do that, add the intentionality. Do not let the world get in the way of what you deserve for that 1%. And you will be able to make your present better by making your future bigger. And you'll be able to look at all of those things, the heartache and the heavy, heavy comparison that so many feel, the anxiety, the ADD that I dealt with, all of these things. I now look at it and say, what a blessing that I had such a difficult childhood. I couldn't learn. I had no idea how to learn, read, or capture it all. But I know my future is bigger than it has ever been, and it's sooner than I could ever believe possible. I am grateful for you. Have the best day of your life. Thank you for your time and energy. Thank you for being here. Have a great day. November 23rd, you can mark it on your calendar. Yeah, that was my final slide, by the way, was November 23rd. You'll see it on the emails. We will do our next one. That'd be the week before Thanksgiving. Imagine what can happen in your life with that 1% intentionality between now and November 23rd. I'm confident that it could have a qualitative impact on your life to the tune of 10x. I'm absolutely confident that the quality of your life can change, and that comes before the commas in your commission check change. God bless you. Have a great day.